Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. Let's see who shows up. Holy crap, that's quick. Do you like live watching my channel? Morning, Chris. So Chris, I have to apologize to Chris because it's kind of both our faults. Even with Chris and I having done stuff a few times now, and being a customer I've had around for a while, Chris sent me some stuff. There's one of my newest Patreons. There's Kurt. So Chris sent me a bunch of stuff, and then I got confused on exactly what we're doing. And then last night he sent me a text back showing me that he had paid me for what he said he wanted. I can't remember that stuff, guys. So this is why it is important to put a note in. Because even if we've talked about it, I got text messages and stuff, at this point right now, I did the math yesterday. I think I have 18 knives here at the house for some form of spa treatment, refinish, sharpening, any of those things. Some of them are pending stuff. Some of them people have sent the stuff and like, yeah, hold off. So I do have a lot of knives here, but I did get a bunch of stuff done yesterday. So I thought it would be cool. Well, today's a little later because I got up this morning. I wanted to get a good start on stuff, and it's been raining on and off. I can't tell if you can tell that I got wet, and this is not one of my working sweatshirts. I was out underneath my canopy, and the wind blew, and part of it peeled down, and it just dumped water all over me, and so my hair's drying off. I changed my clothes, and I was like, you know what, fuck this. If it's nasty out there like this, I'm stopping for right now. So I'll probably wind up taking the rest of today just to get stuff together and stuff like that. So you do want a choil on your Lion Spy? Okay, that makes it easier. So yesterday, I put a choil on this. I've got to do shipping. I'm getting ready to do shipping anyway here in a little bit. So I needed to come in. So I cut a choil in on this. I was getting ready to sharpen it right before I got drenched. So this is a Leon Ma. And if you guys look, what I wanted to point out was like when I do it, I try to match the surface finish. So now he's got a sharpening choil on that. And then, what did we do? We do that one. You already saw the Umnum Zontanto. I'm just now making coffee too. So then I took this apart, which I gotta tell you, Chris, when you see this, there's some scratches on it. That tool slipped off a couple times. It was so tight, I had to break it loose. That first, I don't know whether it was Loctited in there or what. I had to use a pair of pliers to break it loose the first time because it was just gonna strip your tool out. So there are some, you can see where the tool slipped off. I'm gonna probably blast your end cap for your thing because it slipped off and it was, but I did bronze ano on this. We are going to do a blast and then a really fine sprinkles tumble on this. And this thing is off center, and Elliot and I played with it last night trying to center it. I don't know, we're gonna have to take a look at the internals of this and the washers, and I don't know why it's off. It was off center before, but I thought I'd fix it, and I don't think I can. So that's what I did to Chris's knives yesterday. And then I had a customer, I've got some stuff, I threw some blades in some really gentle, I threw one blade in a really gentle rust remover for a guy. It's David's. So I'm gonna let that soak. I'm gonna go check on it today. I'm not going up the shop doing work. I am gonna check on it and pull them out. But there's a chance that I might not have to use that really strong. I'm afraid that with the really strong rust remover that I'm gonna cause staining. What's up, Mr. Thorne? You're not late, we just started, 4 minutes. 4 minutes in. So then, if you guys remember, I had this, which is that Counselor, that Chuck Richards Counselor 2.0. And if you remember, I had redone the pocket clip for the guy, and then I started to sharpen it. Remember how bad that was? Well, what we decided we were gonna do is we added a sharpening tool on this as well, and I even spot etched that spot on the Damasteel so it matches more in, so it's not just a shiny spot. So you can see the pattern through it. Here, let me see if I can get some. Am I back? Okay, there we go. I have found that if I pause it, instead of trying to fight with the reconnection thing, if I pause it, it'll bring me back. It's not my internet. This is not my internet issue. It's a YouTube issue. So I've isolated that. So when you guys see that loss of connection, it's not my internet. It's definitely YouTube's app. So that got done, and then this will get sharpened. This is on the bench, the table here for sharpening, in the getting ready to happen. But like I said, it's raining. It's not cold, but it's chilly. I'm sorry, guys. Today's a day. It's raining. It's in some sad shape. I'm gonna get a tarp and just make a new top for it. That's my cheapest option. So I did that, and then I had a guy named Jeff. Jeff came to town. He stopped by, and he had a whole bunch of really nice knives that I just did not feel comfortable working on. He had some really, really nice knives, but we did go through his stuff, and we found a few knives that he had that he wanted some work on. And so, I mean, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably saw this. I was at the shop till, I didn't get home till almost 10. It was right about 10 p.m. last night. So this is that ADV, this is an ADV Hummer that had just a satin blade, and I cut in on this one as well. I cut in a forward sharpening tool because if you have an ADV, you guys probably know that he uses a drill hole as sharpening tool, and it ramps way up. And so the guy said he wanted to open that up and give it a cleaner line and then do black because it makes it look, you've got some matching colors instead of just being all shiny. So we did that, and I'm gonna sharpen it. But what I noticed when I did it, let me see if I can can you see that? So the funny thing about the ceramic is there will be flaws in a blade that you may not see because the scratch pattern, that satin scratch pattern, or the bidirectional scratch pattern that you get when they do the grind, and then they do the flat. So you have linear lines going this way, and then lines going this way, and lines going this way. Well, sometimes what happens is those kind of mask stuff. What's up, Jack? And so you will get, because there's a couple spots like that here, but they're back further here. You can kind of see them in little areas. So what happens is once you blast that surface and then put it in the ceramic, what the ceramic does is it fills in all those areas. And so you'll see artifacts of things, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just something happens. But what I think caused that, and I was telling the owner, I've done it. I've had it happen, and when you do blast and tumble, and then this thing's broke back in basically. So what happens is those belts have a seam that runs across, and sometimes you'll get a little bit of a bounce and chatter, and it happens, and you'll see it when you're grinding. So that's nothing that is wrong. It could have just been the belt was a little bit worn when they did that. I don't remember if these were hand ground or not. But the fact is that those belts have a chatter to them. And if it happened to be a wheel, like if they were using two wheels together to do that grind, one of them might have a chip or something, or a stuff spot like that. Ashton, nothing much, bud. Just showing what I did yesterday. So like I said, black ceramic, the choil, we reassembled it. These things the ADVs are a pain. He's got a weird pivot that he was using, and it's got a set screw here on one side and this, and it helps you center it, but it also, like, all the screws go all the way through. Some of these, I was afraid I was gonna strip them trying to get it apart. But we got it apart and put 5 knives complete with what I was gonna do on them, and then started on this one and got really far into what I was knife. He said surprise him. So this one we're gonna do. This is a Curtis F3. I am not a fan a big fan of the F3s, but this one is actually one of the better ones I've had come in. A lot of times they're really thick behind the edge. And it's just, this one's just not sharp like a lot of them I get. So that's not the one. This is the one, because it's still in pieces. So I took it and see. Sorry guys, this is gonna be one of them feeds. So this might be a short one. Anyway, inside here are the scales. So the pocket clip is, if you can see it, I don't want to take it out. Well, I'll take it out. I'm afraid I'm gonna scratch it. So yeah, I'm having a lot of video problems. So black ceramic and then orange peel on top. This is all gonna be either bronze or blue. We're not 100% sure. Yeah, it's back. But what I did was the scales, I did black ceramic, but I did satin. May have to do it in here, guys. Any rate, what I did, you saw that, right? So blacks, I'm fucking still chilled. I got soaked. There must have been, no joke, guys, when that canopy tipped loose from the back, because you know that that's a 10 by 10 canvas on an 8 by 8 frame. I salvaged parts. And so there was a low spot and it let go and it just fell all on me. And I just thought, it's only about 62 degrees outside. So I was soaked and I was like, screw this, I'm coming in. So I came in and I changed clothes and I put my wet clothes up and dried off a little bit. My hair's almost completely dry because it's so much shorter now. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. So, and then he has that Curtis F1 that's here that I'm gonna do. But right now it's time to get all the shipping and stuff done. I burned the morning sharpening. I was trying to get stuff done because I wanted to get in. I got to get Charles Anderson's box opened and get his Hornet pulled out because it's sliding up and down inside the package. I don't want it to do that. I know I'm 100% sure that's what it is because it sounds big and heavy. And so it's in a medium flat rate box. When you tip it, you can hear it slide. So yeah, this is gonna be a quick live. I almost wasn't gonna do a live feed, and then once I got wet and had to come back in, I was like, screw it, I'll do a quick one while I make a pot of coffee. And Matt and I were talking about it last night. Oh, let me go get it. Hang on. So, because in here, it may be internet issues. When it rains, internet's funky around here too. But I think most of it is YouTube. So what I did was, like I said, I did black ceramic. And then I did, yeah, I swear to God, it does not want me to show these scales. So black ceramic. And then this is gonna be a anodized color. There's a good chance that that's gonna be orange peeled and only, so you'll just have, so what I'm trying to do is I want to do a line where you have some black here, some black here, some here, and some all down here, but then this is all orange peel, that's all orange peel, that's all. So you'll have a black line going around 90% of the blade. You just, this spot here, and then I'm gonna orange peel that, and then I don't know. I may not be able to get down in that area there like I want to, but that's my plan. We're gonna try that, because this is that Chavez JB Stout Megalodon collab called the Megalodon, which, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of that knife. I didn't like it when Nico gave it to me. It's not a personal thing. I don't want you guys to say like I'm attacking the maker. I just don't like the JB Stout designs. I don't like any of them really. There's none of them that really appeal to me. And this was a JB Stout design that he did a collaboration with Ramon with. And I didn't like it. Nico had one, I didn't like it. Nico had one of the signature ones where Ramon signed, there's a little window inside it that Ramon signed. This isn't one of those. But yeah, I mean, it's not a design that I really like. They're not a bad knife. I mean, they were made basically at Ramon's Chavez American Made place. Same place if you got a Chavez 228, you were getting the same thing. I mean, they were made in the same place. So it's not a quality thing. I don't have it. I left my knife case in the back of my wife's car, and she's at work because I was going to use my wife's car tonight. And so my knife case is in my wife's car. So I don't have my Mordax here. So I'll be able to remind me later, because when she gets home, I'll have it. When I go to Matt's, I'm going to Matt's later today. That's why I had the knife case. I've got stuff in there I was going to work on to what do you want to call it? Just to mask stuff off. So I will, if you remind me later after about, well, that's 10:30 here. If you get a hold of me after about like 1 or 2, I should be able to do it. So, but yeah, guys, I'm not gonna keep this very long. I've got other stuff. Like I said, I got to get ready to do shipping. I don't have signal in the kitchen, obviously, to do this where it's comfortable and where I always do it. So we're just probably gonna cut this. But what I was saying earlier, Matt pointed out to me that the way the channel has kind of changed, I don't show as much of the stuff that I'm doing. And therefore, you guys aren't seeing like actual work, and it doesn't direct. I mean, I get a lot more business from Instagram than I do from YouTube. I really do. But the fact is, like, I kind of started doing stuff that was more based around just hanging out with subscribers, and I wasn't doing as much actual work content. So I'm gonna look at that. We're probably gonna we'll still do the live feeds and stuff, but there's gonna have to be a change in the content, because I got to generate business, especially now that I'm having a financial issue. There was stuff that was supposed to happen that I'm not 100% sure is going to happen now. And I had based some plans on that financially, and now we're in a situation where I don't know if it's even going to happen. So I just have to change course. You know, that's what it is. I can't. I'm not going to give up on this business. I just have to find a different way and a different direction to go. So there's going to be a lot of, hey, if you know, you guys send your knives in, really, because the war on plain Jane knives, which is what I was saying I was doing. I like doing that, but the thing I like doing most is sharpening. I might not make as much per knife doing just sharpening, but the fact is I can do a lot more volume sharpening. I can only do, like, if I was doing a full refinish on any of those knives, if it wasn't just piecemeal stuff, like if I was doing, like I did the black blade and the choil, I did a choil, I did just the ano on the Lion Spy. I forgot that I had to do a full refinish on it. But that takes a lot more time to do a full refinish and then take it back and sharpen it. And then, you know, it sounds like a lot. If I tell you, like, it's $150 if you want this finish on that blade and then that and this, that sounds like a lot, right? But when you really think about it, if I was here at the house, I could make that in like an hour and a half, 2 hours of sharpening. You know what I mean? If I'm doing 4 hours or 4 knives an hour. I like doing the refinishing, but it's not, I don't think it should be like the business model, because it's so time consuming that, like, I've done knives for people where I wind up losing money because it takes so long to do stuff that I'm not making what I was making if I had just been sharpening a whole box of knives for a customer. So, you know, it's a, oh, Grover, you're already at the end. I'm cutting it in a minute. So it's not that I'm not changing the business, but then the whole thing is, like, knife making usually happens on weekends. I haven't gotten a chance to even start making a knife in so long because I get refinishing stuff in. Now that's a hobby, and I could probably do that at a later date, but then you get people that have ordered knives and they're like, dude, I'm like, look, I'm a hobby knife maker. I maybe make a knife once every 2 or 3 months. Not fucking multiple knives a day. I'm not Jim Skelton. I'm not pumping out knives. And I talked to Jim. We're gonna have a surprise for on the channel. Jim's gonna send me something of his. It's not one of his knives. He's sending me something of his that we're gonna have on a channel that I really like. So expect that. That'll be cool. And then yeah, like, I'm still looking. We've got to, you guys, if you guys can at all donate to the GoFundMe, that would be great. But I know that it's always the same 17 people every morning, so I keep telling you, and you're like, God, you guys are like, God damn, we already did. But when I say that, but if you can share it to as many people as you can, the link to it's always in the description. So I mean, a couple things have happened. Money that was supposed to happen didn't happen. Stuff that was supposed to happen is now delayed. It won't be, we probably won't see a Hornet. They said 6 months. They go a little faster. We Knives goes a little faster. I don't think you'll see a Hornet hit the market until, I'd like to say probably about 5 months. I'd give them 4 to 5 months is what I'm going to figure, because they said 6, but I know that they're exaggerating lead times sometimes. So there's that, and I won't see any financial from that for, if it's 6 months, I won't see anything for 10, because I won't see it till the second quarter after the initial launch. So, you know, I got 10 months where I'm not making any income off of that knife until it hits. So, but there's stuff, you know, there's other stuff that I could do. I've got basically unlimited time on my hands, but how do I value it? What do I do? Do I like, because I'm getting ready to cut this because I've got stuff I need to do. I think the live feeds are going to stop being as long, because an hour is a good chunk of time that I could be doing something else. So we're going to cut the live feeds. There's going to be, the flip side of that is, if I cut the live feeds, this is the weird quandary. If I cut the live feeds, then I'm generating content, and a live feed, if I do a 20-minute live feed, it takes 20 minutes. That's it. I do a 20-minute video, it takes a couple hours, if not longer, because there's the editing, and then there's the I have to review it, and then I have to do all the transitions, and then I have to do the upload, and then once it's uploaded, I have to do the end screens. All that stuff is that's the stuff that no one sees on a YouTube channel, where it's just one person doing it. You know, there's some YouTube channels out there that are huge that have like a staff and a crew. It's like a TV show. This is not like that, not at all. So, guys, I'm gonna get off of here. I've got to get this stuff put away. I've got to open up Charles' box right after this, and if I can figure out a way to get that knife in there so it doesn't slide around. And then I've got to go do some shipping. There's some other customer stuff that's going out this morning. So I've got at least 5 packages that have to go out, and there's only like 3 of them, they're packed up, but 2 of those are Charles's, and one of them needs opened, so basically I don't have anything packed up. Take it easy, guys. Yeah, I know this live feed was a little bit late, too, so I knew that would be kind of unusual for people. But yeah, I worked late last night. Check out my Instagram. I put a bunch of stuff up, and if you guys need something done, just get a hold of me. I can make room for anything here. If I have stuff where it looks like lead times can be longer, I just work longer every day. So I try to stay within the 1 to 2 weeks range. Sometimes I don't. Like, I've got David's stuff here. David's stuff's been here for a while. I got Dwayne's stuff here. It's been here for a while, but that's neither here nor there. That's just, you know, there's other